I finally stood up for myself. I did something that I've never done in my entire life. I just finally stopped being the peacemaker in my family. And I told them the truth about how I felt. And something inside me changed instantly. For most of my life, I was the one black sheep in my family that had to keep the peace. I stayed quiet. I absorbed everything. I apologized for everything even when I wasn't wrong. I'm sure that some of y'all understand that. Because deep down, I just wanted love, to be loved. But something started to change inside me. I started waking up. I started seeing the patterns. The people pleasing, the silence, the way I abandoned myself just to keep others comfortable. And something in me finally said, not anymore. So I sent a nice little text message to my parents and my brother. Not from chaos, not from losing control, but from truth. I told them how I really felt, what the pain actually did to me, what all the trauma did to me throughout my life. And for the first time in my life, I didn't filter it whatsoever. I didn't soften it. I didn't shrink. And after I just hit send, I didn't feel regret. I felt relief for the first time in a long time. Like something that I'd been carrying for a long time, for many years, finally dropped. Because it wasn't really about them. It was about me finally standing up for the version of myself that never had a voice throughout my entire childhood. That's what people don't understand about healing. Sometimes healing is not peaceful at all. Sometimes it isn't soft. Sometimes it looks just like the raw truth. And when you spent your whole life being the one that bends for everyone and being the peacemaker and being, the whipping child and the scapegoat, whatever it is, standing up feels like a shock to your entire system, but it's necessary to grow. I didn't do it to them to hurt them. I did it to stop hurting myself. There's a big difference. And for the first time, I feel like I'm not abandoning myself anymore. And that changes everything. Because once you find your voice, you can't go back to the silence. You wouldn't ever want to. Believe me, you don't want to. Once you bring something into the light, this is something I've always said, once something is brought into the light, it can no longer be it can no longer be put in the darkness. It just is not a thing. If you're the one who's always keeping the peace for everyone else at the expense of yourself and your peace, if you've always had to stay quiet, if you've always had to carry the weight for yourself and others, please hear this. Listen to these words. Your voice matters too. Your voice is the one that matters the most. When everyone falls away and you go home, or you're in your room, or you're at your house, you have to be able to deal with yourself and your thoughts, because there's no one else. That's the only thing that matters. Choosing yourself isn't selfish, no matter what the inner critic might tell you. That person, that critic, remember, those are your thoughts, and you are not your thoughts. You can choose to do whatever you want at any point in time. Choosing yourself isn't selfish. It's the beginning of becoming who you were always meant to be. I didn't lose myself in that moment. I finally found myself.